I'm Lori Haskins Houran, and I'm here today to share with you my new picture book, Space Mice. A few people have asked me where I got the idea for the story, and the truth is it was inspired by my love of something very special, cheese. I love cheese, and my favorite kind is Swiss. That's the kind like this with all the holes in it. And I was thinking one night about how people say that the moon looks like it's made of Swiss cheese, which it kind of does. And I thought, if the moon really was made of cheese, who would want to go there? What animal on Earth loves cheese even more than I do? A mouse. And that's where the idea from the book came from. Okay, ready? Let's read.
Space Mice by Lori Haskins Houran, illustrated by Priscilla Alpaugh. Read with the permission of Albert Whitman and Company. Two hungry mice, rumble, rumble. Not enough cheese, grumble, grumble. Holy moly, look at this! A giant yellow ball of Swiss. Jot and scribble, plot and sketch. Let's stop here for a second. Let's take a look at this sketch. What do we think the mice might be planning? What are they going to build? Jot and scribble, plot and sketch, run to the hardware store and fetch. Hammer, pliers, wrench, and socket. All the stuff to build a rocket. Drill, bang, measure, saw and screw, paint and polish. Shoo, shoo. It's a lot of work building a rocket. Suits on, boots on, mice on a mission. Snap in, strap in, start the ignition. Countdown, lift off, A-OK. Space mice up and on their way. Landing, standing on the moon. That's one small step. And one big spoon. Nosh, munch, nibble, chomp and chew, stuff and swallow. Shoo, shoo. It's a lot of work eating all that cheese. Back to the rocket. Take a slice. No full moon. Where did it go? Just two full mice.
Hi again. Now that we finished reading the story, I wondered if any of you noticed that someone in the book went to the moon besides the two space mice. And if you didn't notice this little character, don't worry, I didn't notice him either the first time I saw the pictures. He's teeny weeny, even smaller than a mouse, and so he's a little hard to spot. But let's take a look inside and see if we can spot him.
So do you remember at the very beginning of the book when the mice were grumbling about not enough cheese? There were some little ants making off with bits of cheese in the corner. Then later, when the mice are all suited up for their mission, we see one of those little ants tucked into a helmet. And from there, he continues on to the moon with the mice.
So if you watch the video again, or if you have the book at home, if you flip through the pages, see how many times you can find that little stowaway ant as he goes to the moon with the mice. So here's an interesting question. I did not write about an ant going to the moon. I only wrote about the space mice. So if it wasn't my idea to put that little ant in the book, whose idea do you think it was? Who could have thought of that fun and clever idea? Priscilla Alpaugh, the illustrator. And that's one of the things that makes a picture book so unique, is that the story can be told in two ways. One way in the words, and then there can be a whole extra story happening in the pictures. So now that we've talked about Priscilla, I invite you to go to her video. She made a video about space mice also, and she'll show you how she drew the characters for the book.
Hi, I'm Priscilla Alpaugh. I drew all the pictures for this book, Space Mice, written by Lori Haskins Houran. I'm going to show you some sketches and other things that I made before I made the art for this book. And I'll also be showing you how I draw a space mouse. Hope you enjoy it. Thanks. The first thing you have to do when you're making a picture book is to create the characters. I needed to figure out what the mice would look like. I drew a whole bunch of mice and ended up with these two. I liked them a lot, and so did the art director. Then we had to figure out what the spaceship would look like, so I drew a bunch of those too. We looked through them and chose our favorite, and then I even made a model of the spaceship. It's great to have a model when you're drawing something several times so you can move it around and draw it realistically in different positions. Next, I drew the mice doing the different things they'd be doing in the story, working with tools, drawing with pencils, and things like that. I also wanted to see what they'd look like in their spacesuits, how they'd eat, move, and even drive things. After that, I also had to design the cover, which was a wraparound, which means the front and the back. There were sketches, color studies, a full thumbnail color study of the whole book, and then the final cover. I hope you enjoyed looking at my sketches and my spaceship model. Now I'm going to show you what it looks like when I draw a space mouse. Let me know what you think. Hi, I thought it would be fun to show you how I draw the mice from Space Mice. I'll draw one of them. This will be the littler guy. I had to figure out what he was going to look like in the beginning, but now that we know, they've become kind of friends of mine. So I used this light blue pencil. Happens to be an erasable blue pencil. And I sketch in where I want all his parts to be. What size, where the proportions are. He needs to make sure his legs are the right length. His belly's the right size. You want him to look the same every time. So the blue line, when I started drawing, I don't know, I kind of felt like sketching was cheating if I didn't draw the piece or the thing right the first time, that I either wasn't any good or it wasn't any good. But I started watching other people draw, and I found that an awful lot of people have some kind of sketch going on underneath. And when I started doing that, all of a sudden, my art started getting a lot better. And I drew a lot. I mean, over and over and over again. And the cool thing about drawing a lot is that the better your art gets, the more you want to draw. And it just keeps going that way. So the thing I love about doing the blue line underneath is, you're sketching in nice and loose, just putting things where you kind of sort of want them to be. And then when you're going with your final line, you pick the line you like and ignore the rest. And it really helps. It helps me get the character to look the way I hope he will. Because if I was going straight in with the marker, I wouldn't have the ability to make sure I had the arms the right length. I know some people can do that. I can't. And I'm not going to worry about it because it's all about how the art comes out in the end. So speaking of not worrying about it, drawing is supposed to be fun, and I think we put a lot of pressure on ourselves when we think we have to get it right the first time. Erasers are cool. Erasers can be part of the process. When you're drawing, you actually can take stuff away and fix stuff Don't feel bad about using erasers. They're cool. The other thing is, if you draw something and you don't want to erase it, draw another one. The second one's almost always better than the first one. And sometimes it's way better. So really, it's really important that you let yourself make mistakes. You're only going to get better by drawing more and more and more, and not every drawing is going to be great. So please, draw some more, have some fun. Here's one of the mice from Space Mice. If you look at the book, you'll find that there's a little guy and there's a taller guy, and this is the little one. Lori and I realized that we didn't give the mice names. So we would love it if anybody wants to send in suggestions for the names for those space mice. You can use the hashtag name the space mice. And Lori and I will take a look at any entries and see if we find the right ones. I hope you'll think about sending in some ideas, and thanks for watching. You can find me on Instagram at Priscilla Alpaugh and Lori on Instagram at Lori Haskins Houran. Please do send in an entry. We'd love to hear what you think their names should be. Thanks again, and enjoy Space Mice!